Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Months ago, our heroes foiled the plot of Elaine, the fairy lady of spring and the dawn, to destroy Las Vegas and grow a new oasis from the ashes. Their actions saving the city and everyone within from absolute destruction. Though their paths diverged, destiny brings them together once again, as Voltaire investigates a new string of mysterious murders. And an enemy from the past arises to threaten their world. She didn't know how long she had been running. Everything was a blur, her heart pounding in her chest, her breathing ragged as she tried desperately to escape. She couldn't see them, but she knew they were on her tail. Monsters, the kind her grandmother always warned her about. She'd thought they were just stories. She turned the corner and found her way blocked, 2 black vans forming a wall across the alley. More of the monsters emerging from their doors. She spun around, but the way back was blocked off too. The figures surrounded her. Hard, cruel faces glaring at her. Cold eyes empty of any sign of remorse. "End of the line," one of the monsters declared, leveling his weapon at her. "Why?" she asked, her tear-filled eyes going to the crosses adorning their uniforms. "Why?" "Des Volt, witch!" Her screams rang through the night as her world was consumed by fire.
And so we continue the trend of people dying.
Gosh dang it.
Every
session.
Can
I just Des Volt Witch? Holy crap. I was already getting chills, but as soon as it was that, I was like, oh, things just got serious. We are back, baby. We are right back in it.
I'm stressed. I'm
so scared.
We should go around and reintroduce everybody since we're picking back up with a new season of an old campaign, but just a refresher.
All right, so for all you listeners out there, I am your humble, not so humble, sometimes humble, but friendly game master, Jonathan.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Baaron, and I am glad to be back playing Cayden Richter once again.
I should probably add, because I forgot to mention.
Who are you?
I am also playing Joan. Or I guess, well, she's got a last name now, sort of.
Well, that's right.
Last season, I am playing the young wizard, Joan LeFay.
Ooh.
Fancy. Okay, here's the thing I love about this, and it works perfectly because she's up next. So Aimee, our newest cast member to this season, has listened to 2 or 3 episodes of season 1 and is now jumping way ahead of the curve. So there are going to be lots of fun surprises for you, and I'm very excited about it.
Me too. I have no idea. I mean, I have a small idea. I know what's going on, but I have no idea what you guys have been doing past that first half of episode 3.
Yeah, so that about Elaine and destroying the city must have been interesting for you to hear.
I mean, I had a guess from the art. It's mostly the last name, but Yeah, I'm Aimee, and I will be playing a character that has yet to be named or introduced.
Ooh.
So we're gonna have fun with that.
Keeping it under wraps, I see. All right, Jonathan already went, so Nathaniel, you're up.
Howdy, fellas and folks. I'm Nathaniel, and I'm going to be playing Rian Windwalker once again.
You're already in the cowboy mood.
Stop stealing all my howdies, okay?
I've been practicing in my mind for the whole week, so...
We'll see how long this accent lasts.
Shots fired.
We have barely even started, and already people are being rude.
Hey, as we stated before, anyways, one of the most trigger-happy people of the campaign, so of course he'd be the first to have shots fired.
Yeah,
That's
of
true.
course.
You know what? That's appropriate.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
But yes, for those of you who are wondering, my name is Zander Tolley, and I will be playing everybody's favorite trigger-happy hitman for the Devil's Mafia, Voltaire.
My name is Caitlin, known elsewhere on the internet as Howie, and I will be playing Elianna.
Woo!
This is Fae stuff. Fae things. Part Fae. I don't know how to summarize this character without, giving things away.
That's why I said Cayden Richter, and that was it.
There you
That should be
go.
enough, right?
I felt like I gave a lovely summary of who I'm playing.
I think you did also. It was maybe my favorite.
I am playing a character who has yet to be revealed
It
or
was
named.
succinct yet detailed.
I may or may not be playing a character. Who knows? We'll find
Can
out.
neither confirm nor deny.
Stay tuned.
Please do stay tuned.
Yeah, please.
So, we find ourselves in the presence of...
We don't find ourselves in the presence of anyone. We are all on our separate ways at the end of last season.
Scattered to the wind.
We gotta assemble the Avengers before we can have them all meet someone. We begin with Voltaire. Voltaire has been called in to the morgue by Dr. Walter Biddles for the dozenth time in the last month. The office is a little different from last time we all saw it, in that Dr. Biddles now has the Lego Death Star on his desk. He's moved various of the scattered papers and stuff that were there before to make room for this Death Star. And he currently is wearing a t-shirt that says, "My other ride is a TARDIS."
I love it.
I miss this
However,
man.
despite the fun apparel, he is not in a good mood, as he shows Voltaire the latest in a long line of victims, or, well, what remains of them. Yeah, as you can see, there's not much left of this one. It's there's nothing left we could identify, as he removes the cover and shows a corpse that is little more than bone and some charred remains of flesh left clinging to those bones. The teeth have been removed. Yeah, like all the others, there's nothing really I can do to identify the victim. Can't even access the dental records.
Yes, I can see that, Doctor. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You told me to call you anytime we got a new one in.
Yes, I appreciate it. Where was this one found?
This one was this one was actually down in Summerlin, like in the suburbs. It's a bit different from some of the other victims that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's that's really all I can give you. Sorry. It's another dead end, I guess.
I seem to be finding my fair share of those nowadays. But do not worry, dear doctor. It is not all your doing.
Well, glad it's not all my doing.
I mean, I can't really fault you for not having whatever future technology you seem to enjoy watching on TV.
Yeah, well, have you had any luck on the supernatural side of things, trying to figure any of this out?
Well, I have a very interesting dilemma. I know who's doing it. I can't prove it, though.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a pickle. Yeah. I've been looking a bit more into the accelerant that's been used in the little bits that we can get of it, at least. And I still can't identify it. I don't think it's like supernatural. Like there's no I haven't been able to get any samples of brimstone or anything from the corpses. No other signs of magically induced fire, because there is definitely an accelerant involved, but
indeed.
But for the life of me, I can't identify it. Whatever they're using, it's not anything you'd get you could get regularly, or even off of the more not regular ways that I know of.
The more gray markets, you might say.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Doctor. I believe I have some options to choose from now.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know if any of your friends are gonna be coming back anytime soon? We've nothing against you, of course. I don't know.
Dear Dr. Biddles.
Seems when you were all working together, things worked well.
My dear Dr. Biddles, I'd be slightly offended if it wasn't so true.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's complicated, shall we say.
Yeah, I don't need to know any more than I already do. This is stuff I already know about the supernatural weirds me out enough already.
Oh, Dr. Biddles, you're a very smart man.
Thank you.
But anyway, I had best get going.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he leaves, and when Dr. Biddles said, this isn't anything you would find normally with the accelerant, then he starts thinking, maybe I could talk to some of my military friends.
Okay, interesting.
And just see if anybody's been acquiring different military grade items.
Okay, cool. I like that. Put a pin in that. We are going to transition over to Rian. Rian is down in the storm drains.
Here we go again.
So well last time.
Oh
Back
yeah.
at it
Here we
again.
go again.
Last time I think I was near an abandoned factory was where it was last time.
We did go
Is
into
there
the
that
storm
much of a
drains.
difference, really?
You were fighting storm drain demons.
That's right.
Yeah, drain demon.
All right. I'm in the storm drains.
Yeah.
Am I knee deep in sewer water, or is it pretty dry?
So, one, remember that the storm drains are not sewers.
Right. Don't know why I keep getting them confused.
They're both underground tunnels that have water involved. So at this point, we have not had any rain in like a good month or two.
Okay.
So maybe not quite two, but at least a solid month without rain at this point. Maybe two. It's Vegas.
Is it dark in these tunnels, or are there lights like along the walls?
Remember, as stated before, these tunnels have no light sources in them.
All right. Rian will definitely have his flashlight out then.
So you're going through the tunnels. There is some smells in here. Things die in here, or things die when in the floods and then get left in here. Not super great smelling. And so in this search, you've gotten in decently deep. You've gone past the areas where a lot of the homeless people are. As you get deeper into the tunnels, the smells of the tunnels are replaced as a much stronger scent overtakes them.
Rian moves towards the stronger smells.
Smells a lot like burning cow dung.
Okay. Still moving towards him because he's trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
All right, so as you turn a corner, you see a massive pile of what used to be drain demons.
Oh my.
That is currently on fire.
How big of a pile are we talking about?
About 4 feet high. maybe 4 feet in diameter as well. They just dump these things on each other, and it's like sloughing as the remnants of the drain demons start to just ooze into their like sludge that they turn into upon death before evaporating.
Delicious.
I forgot how lovely this campaign is. I forgot how much I enjoy the imagery.
And they are currently on fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, he definitely turns his flashlight off and just puts it in his pocket because there's plenty of light now.
And it's much stronger now. You're getting that drain demon smell of cow dung and brimstone, but enhanced by the fact that it's on fire and the smoke is like coming straight at your face.
Yeah, he's covering his mouth. Well, oh, gosh darn it.
We're already Irish. Right off the bat. It wouldn't be the Unseen Worlds if Rian wasn't Irish sometimes for no reason.
I called it.
Try it.
Not even 5 seconds.
You got it. You got it.
You can do this.
You got it.
Well, I think before he says anything, he's just gonna slowly approach the fire, but close enough to where he can only just barely stand the heat. But as he's looking around, what else does he see?
Looking around, he sees their scorch marks along the walls. So this is similar to the previous things that you've seen, except for the fact that this is much newer. As you know from experience, that drain demons start to turn into sludge immediately upon death, or almost immediately upon death. It takes a couple seconds. Whenever this happened, it was very recently. So it's similar to the scorch-marked areas you found before, except this time there's actually remains instead of just the scorch marks.
Well. Wonder how long ago this happened. How, burned down does this fire look? Is it, full of blaze, or is it no, it is... it's not full blaze anymore, but it is still pretty... it's still going strong. Okay.
Whatever these things are made of, they're very flammable.
Apparently. Is it possible for Rian to walk around the pile to the other side without getting burned, or is there a chance he might get a little singed?
You're going to have to make a resilience check, but not a super hard one. You can, if you go up against the wall and scoot and keep from getting the worst of it.
Yeah, he's going to do that. He just scooch up against the wall and just move to the other side.
All right, what's your resilience?
2 green.
Well, it's an easy check, so don't freak out quite yet. You're fine.
Okay. So we move to the other side.
It's hot, but...
It's hot, yeah. All right, we're on the other side of the pile, and he's looking down the tunnel. What does he see?
That would be a perception check, my friend.
That one I am more than comfortable doing.
So you would get 2 black die to darkness, but with your flashlight, you get 1 black die instead.
All right, he pulled the flashlight out again and turned it on, looking down the tunnel. So 2 yellow, 1 green. What do I see? Or what does Rian see?
Looks like you're a little lucky. Someone stepped in the mess of drain demon.
Ooh.
So you see some black footprints leading down the tunnel.
Ooh. Rian kind of crouches down to look at the trail of footprints, looks up with his flashlight. Then he gets up and starts following the trail.
So the trail leads down deeper into the tunnels before it vanishes.
Where does it vanish to?
It just stops.
Interesting. Does it look like that stops right in front of a doorway before someone went into it? Or does it just runs out of goo kind of deal?
Just in the middle of the hallway.
Okay.
Do you look any further?
Yeah, he's turning his flashlight and looking into the tunnel.
That's perception.
2 yellow, 1 green.
All right. You find a rag.
Oh? What color is the rag?
Well, it was white, but someone has smeared a bunch of black goop on it.
Yeah. He goes over to the white rag, kind of kneels down and observes it for a few moments.
Yeah, so when he looks at the rag, embroidered on it is a golden cross.
The Golden Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have to make a check to see if I recognize it from anywhere?
Yep.
What knowledge?
Supernatural.
Oh, okay. How hard of a check would this be? Probably difficult.
Yes, it would not be easy.
Am I allowed to use Intense Focus to help out with this?
Yes.
I will use Intense Focus once, so my base is 1 yellow, 2 green, but I will suffer that 1 strain to upgrade it once.
And since your specialty with knowledge supernatural is monsters, I will give you 2 black die.
That is fair.
You failed with a triumph. You don't know what that symbol means other than like the obvious that a cross is a Christian symbol typically.
Yeah.
But there is one person who you think might know.
Oh.
Someone that you have not spoken to in the last couple months.
Okay.
Voltaire.
Yep. Well, thinking of that, he's going to pick it up with a gloved hand, fold it as nice as he can. He is going to squeeze a bit of the gunk out, but he's going to leave some on the rag, so I have a little more evidence. And then he's going to take a little bandana from out of his pocket, wrap it in the bandana, and then put the rag in his pocket.
What does Rian do next? Does he try to call him, or is he going to try to visit him physically, or what is...
He did get a new phone, so... Can I get... Yeah, it's a smart flip phone nowadays.
Hey, with the little, like, slidey ones? The little slidey ones? With
No,
the
it's a flip phone, but it's also a smartphone.
We have those in this universe?
Yeah,
Those do exist, yes.
Yeah, I have seen pictures of those.
They barely exist.
They barely exist.
They
but
exist enough.
And that calling them a smartphone...
I mean, just like everything in this campaign.
Fair enough.
So, Rian is going to take his phone out and open it up. Is there any service in the drains?
No, you're a decent bit underground, sir.
All right.
And the tunnels that you're in are made of concrete.
He probably then just closes his phone and put it away and then starts walking his way out to the exit of the tunnels. He is going to make his way outside the storm drains and then try calling Voltaire.
All right. Then screen wiping. As we are leaving Earth entirely and going into Avalon, the realm of Morgan Le Fay, a realm drenched in eternal twilight and endless autumn.
See, you ruined my chance of saying what time is it.
Oh, yeah, what time was it when I was in the storm drains? I completely forgot to ask about that.
Doesn't matter, it's dark.
Late afternoon, early evening. Yeah.
Is that when I leave the storm drains or go into the storm drains?
When you leave.
I leave. Okay.
So we enter Avalon in the midst of a party. And, of course, as Morgan's court is gathered to attend, that includes Morgan's adopted daughter, Joan, and Joan's guardian and protector, Cayden. Joan and Cayden are currently standing on the steps to Morgan's throne in this grand pavilion. One step down from Morgan is Joan, and one step down from Joan is Cayden. Below, there is the gathered assortments of Morgan's court. Banshee, Lananshi, and of course, one who has relatively recently risen much higher in the court, a dapper southern gentleman with a red cap.
Just curious, what's the overall atmosphere of this party?
Dangerously polite.
My least favorite. Or Cayden's least favorite. Absolutely least favorite.
I was just about to say my favorite.
Everyone is absolutely cordial to each other, but their smiles are much more akin to those of sharks than to those of men. Joan is standing there next to Morgan in a long silver sleeveless gown with a sheer silver wrap that goes over her shoulders and down her body. Her hair, in the 3 years she has spent here in Avalon, has grown long and is flipped over one shoulder. and she watches out over the party with her now cat-like slits of eyes. Joan has not aged visibly in this time. How is Cayden looking?
Well, other than his iconic black goggles that he continues to wear across his eyes, he looks a little bit more weathered. He himself has been aging like a normal person throughout this time, and so definitely looks a little more weathered and older than he was before. And on top of that, his hair no longer is just above his shoulders. It is now much longer, but tucked actually into a ponytail that descends down his back. He is currently now without a hat, to his very much dismay, at least at the current time.
What does Cayden's outfit look like?
His looks nothing like what he used to be wearing. Instead of the standard cowboy coat with boots and, button-up shirts, he's actually wearing leather and chainmail armors with very elaborate pauldrons. I don't remember exactly the colors that we agreed on, but I distinctly remember something about them being fancy. So there was some gold filigree kind of etched into the actual pauldrons themselves. And the leather itself has the similar types of etchings just built into it as it goes all the way down his chest and has what more or less looks like tunic style as it falls down his legs.
And the metal of the armor is not silver, but a silvery color. The sort of fey metal that fairies use as in all their weapons, as they do not use iron.
Still across his back is a rifle that sits there waiting, and in his hand, he still has his standard cane. Though with one main exception, it has the butterfly ornament on it instead of the wolf.
So Morgan turns her head towards Joan and gives her a look and a slight nod. And Joan holds her hand out to Cayden. I believe it is time that we should walk among the court.
Cayden extends out his arm and is just like, who are we pleasing tonight?
No one in particular.
Such a shame.
And they begin to walk down the steps together. So they mingle with the crowd. They're soon met by the gentleman Redcap, who takes off his hat and gives a deep bow before putting it back on and kissing the back of Joan's hand. It is a pleasure to see you as always, madam. I am forever grateful for your help in my rise to my place in court. I am glad that I was able to repay my debt to you, sir. Now, if you excuse us, we have other guests to entertain. As you will. Bows again with a grin on his face. And then as they move on into the rest of the party suddenly halts. And like the Red Sea before Moses, the crowd of unseelie fae parts before a new figure at the gates of the pavilion.
I'd like to mention that during the whole encounter with the Redcap, the grip on Cayden's cane had risen and tightened for a bit, and then as they dispersed, it loosened. But as the crowd halts, it moves back to where it was, as he's tensing for something crazy to happen.
As the sea of fairy predators, dangerous and deadly fae, part with a sense of fear before this figure. As stepping in from the gates of the pavilion stands a man in a red suit. His face and features indiscernible and impossible to identify. For a moment, there is only silence. Then Morgan stands up from her throne and gives the man a small nod of respect. It is not often that we have the honor of one of the first as a guest. Please, sir, what brings you to my halls? The man steps forward and his gaze turns directly to Joan. Your daughter owes us a great debt, and the time has come to fulfill it. Joan grips Cayden's arm a little tighter.
He does his best to position himself in front of her, but he's still kind of slightly confused. Question, as he entered, is he giving off any kind of scent or overall aura? And what would it feel or smell like?
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
Let's do a perception check.
Sweet. We'll be working on this a lot more this campaign, but it's still 3 yellow, 1 green, and 2 blue die.
Success with a triumph. This man, has a more powerful aura than you have ever sensed from anyone. More powerful than Morgan's. More powerful, in fact, than any of the figures that we all encountered at the end of last season, when we met the powers of Vegas.
You can't see his eyes, but they are widened upon finding this information.
With that triumph, though, you can tell there's something strange about this aura. The aura he gives off isn't quite right for one incredibly powerful entity. It's more like he's somehow giving off the aura of countless entities beyond your capability to count, or at least beyond your capability to truly grasp the magnitude of by sensing this aura.
As he still positions himself in front of Joan a little bit, he kind of turns his head a little bit to whisper to her, "Hey, Joan, do you happen to know this fella?"
I do.
Would you mind enlightening me?
He's the one who helped me escape Avalon the first time.
A man in the red suit?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what kind of trouble you're in right now, Joan. I don't think any of us here could take this, boy.
The man speaks up again. Joan LaFay, step out. Joan steps forward. She actually, pulls her arm out of his when she does this.
He doesn't reach for anything, but he is following close behind. I'm assuming that, to step forward, she let go, but he'll be following.
Joan LaFay, are you prepared to fulfill your debt? Both this man's impossible to identify eyes and the violet cat-like eyes of Morgan, honestly, the eyes of the entire court, staring at Joan. And Morgan speaks up first. I have no desire to offend you, but this is my daughter. I can take any debt of hers. She is not yours. She is mine. The man in the red suit turns to look at Morgan. I claim no ownership of the child, beyond the ownership I have of all mortals. But she owes us a debt, one we have come to claim. Do you not accept the law of the debt? Morgan almost hisses at that. You know by which laws we are bound, first one. And he smiles. Good. Then the child will come with us. Unless, of course, he turns to Joan. She chooses to place her debt upon her godmother. It is, after all, a gift you enjoy that she does not. You can choose.
This is me laughing, not Cayden.
Joan, takes a moment to take stock of the situation before stepping forward. I will repay my debt. She turns to Morgan. I am sorry, Mother, but I made the deal with him, and so I must repay him. Then come, bring your guardian with you. We have another stop before we return to the mortal realm.
Cayden, before they're about to leave, Cayden, nods respectfully towards, or in the direction of where he assumes a massive power is happening. And then he turns towards Morgan and just gives a small bow and then a salute and follows.
All right. Then we're going to go to another magical realm.
Yes.
We transition to the heart of summer, the location of the Summer Queen's Court. And so here, the Summer Queen's Court is in session for, not a party. Instead, for one of the less friendly, but still greatly entertaining events that sometimes occurs in such places. A duel.
Ooh.
Who are the duelists?
A challenge was issued by the new Lord of Nature's Hunger, or in other words, the replacement for the dearly departed Daelga, given to Elianna.
Pardon?
What?
Excuse me?
Her challenge was given to Elianna after she failed in her attempts to besmirch his good name. But when her plot was revealed, he could in no way not react to this challenge to his honor. Fortunately, Elianna had one to step up for her and act as her champion. Her friend, the she, Darcy. Elianna and Darcy are in a room together as Darcy puts on their armor in preparation for the duel.
What does Elianna look like right now?
Yeah, describe what Elianna looks like.
Elianna she looks beautiful, as per usual. Her hair is now completely strawberry pink, and she's wearing a beautiful pale gold shimmering gown with a sort of sheer overlay and embroidered with sparkling flowers, but she looks terrified. She looks absolutely sick.
Yeah, makes sense. Darcy looks angry as they like tighten the straps on their armor. We would not be in this predicament if you had simply followed the plan, Elianna.
I know, I'm sorry. There has to be a different way. We can come up with a different way. I know that we talked a lot about this, but there can be a different way. Maybe we just haven't thought about it hard enough.
We have been forced into a different way. As you can see, I am wearing armor I have not worn in 100 years, because I have had no need to wear it. Not since the last time the Seelie and Unseelie were at war, because I have had no reason to duel, because I have been smart enough to keep from duels.
I thought I could salvage it. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to.
You need to be better than this.
I thought I was, and then it came down to it, and I just couldn't.
You weren't enough.
No, I wasn't.
Luckily, my opponent is relatively young, so I should be able to survive this.
Elianna winces visibly.
But regardless of how this duel ends, we have failed visibly before the court by this duel even being able to happen.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well, wish me luck.
You won't need it.
And they step out into the arena.
Elianna was trying to pull off sort of a wry smile with that last line, but as soon as Darcy's back turns, like, it's just gone.
The look Darcy gives her before they turn away is just one of immense disappointment. Besides the entrance to the arena, there's also stairs that lead up to the seating around the arena.
And that's where everybody's watching from.
Yep.
All right. Elianna's gonna try and find a front row spot.
The Fae make room for her to have a front row seat to what many of them believe will be an especially embarrassing defeat for her champion.
Elianna's got a wad of her dress pulled up into her hand, and she's just kneading it, which is probably destroying it. But she does not seem to care at this point.
On one side of the arena stands a man with bright green hair wrapped in thorns, and on the other side is Darcy in their silver armor with a long, thin silver blade in each hand. And watching over this on a throne high above the arena is the Summer Queen, standing over 8 feet tall and indescribably beautiful, but not in any human way. Her skin is a rough, deep brown like bark. Her eyes glow with the life of 1,000 forests, and her hair stretches out behind her like the leaves of a great tree, flowers growing among the strands. She looks down upon the court, just radiating life and power. She has her hand up, ready to drop to begin the duel, when a voice calls out, "We have unexpected guests, an envoy of the Unseelie Court." As everyone's eyes turn to the entrance to the arena, as a Seelie Fae announces the arrival of this envoy. "I announce the daughter of Morgan Le Fay, the Lady of Autumn and Twilight, Joan Le Fay, and her guardian, the knight Sir Cayden." As Joan steps out of a way and takes a seat on the opposite end of the arena. Joan looking quite different than Elianna last saw her, with her long hair and cat-like eyes. Joan's eyes search the crowd until they find Elianna's, and Joan gives her a nod.
Elianna doesn't nod back. She just kind of looks around and looks back at her like she looks exhausted, terrified, and absolutely baffled.
Then sitting next to her, probably because not nearly as much of a spectacle as Cayden, doesn't necessarily look for Elianna or anything, but he leans over towards Joan and is like, "So, have you found Elianna?"
"I have."
"Could you give me a general direction of where she is?"
"She's over there, first row."
Now, was this a point?
Yes. Sorry, she would have taken his arm and shifted him slightly to face that direction.
He's like, "Thank you kindly." And then waves in that general direction.
Elianna looks back and forth between Joan and Cayden with this look that's just like, what are you doing here?
Joan smiles, except her smile, since you last saw her, has taken on an almost predatory appearance.
Elianna does not smile back.
And Joan and Cayden take their seats.
Mm-hmm.
Once the court settled from that, the Summer Queen lowers her hand, and the duel begins. Darcy moves like lightning, vanishing from where they were and appearing right next to their opponent as just a wall of thorns bursts from the ground, right before Darcy could get an immediate killing blow. Darcy dashes back, and the duel truly commences. As Darcy, moving like the wind, flashing with their silver swords through a forest of thorns and man-eating plants that burst from the ground to attack them. While this is happening...
That sounded like a lot of dice.
Yeah, it did.
How much was that?
Ooh.
Partway into the duel, Elianna feels a tap on her shoulder.
Oh, jeez. She freaking jumps. She's not ready for them to be approached.
Does she just jump, or does she...
She jumps and she turns to see who it is.
No one.
All right.
Shh. Don't be so obvious, Elianna.
What?
Go back to watching the duel. Don't make it obvious you're talking to someone.
Joan?
Who else?
I don't know, you sound different.
It's been a long 3 years.
Oh, it has.
So, Cayden and I are here to take you back.
I don't know if you didn't notice or... See, you came in a little late. I'm sort of in the middle of something extremely important.
Well, I can promise you that whatever it is, what we're doing is more important.
I don't think so. I don't know about that.
A lot of people are gonna die if we don't stop it.
Okay, that's not a lot of... Is that gonna happen right now? Like, can that wait 5 minutes?
Maybe. I wasn't given a whole lot of details. I don't think we need to. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. But we do kind of need to hurry. Does this situation have something? Are you involved here?
Yes, incredibly, very much so. Do you? Elianna's trying not to gesture with her hands, which, as you may have observed over the course of season 1, is something she starts doing when she's very stressed out. She goes back to, like, gripping onto a chunk of her dress. If you would care to look into the massive fight that's happening in the arena, you might recognize a familiar face.
Oh, is that your, the fairy friend from before?
Yep, it is. Well spotted. Sorry. I'm a little bit concerned at the moment, and I would like to see the rest of this play out, if that's possible.
Not sure it is.
What exactly is happening?
I incurred a debt to a incredibly powerful being a while ago, and part of the way of repaying that debt is I have to snatch you now.
Now? Define now. Joan?
Just a sec.
Joan, don't you dare. Stop grinning like that! Ah!
Define now.
Ah!
So, for all intents and purposes, Joan is still right next to Cayden, for anyone who looks.
No question. I'm assuming you knew this was the plan.
Yeah, who knows? Mm-hmm.
I am loving this.
I am not. This is a bad time.
Yeah, timing like this is always terrible.
When is there a good time to do something?
This is, well, here's the thing. This is quite possibly the worst time.
Probably.
I'm about to get... Jonathan, you said to me, you will not be drugged or kidnapped in the first episode. And I think that was a lie.
I don't know if I'd call this kidnapping.
Define kidnapping.
I would
define kidnap.
Unwilling snatching of persons from one place to another place.
This is definitely kidnapping.
This is
I don't know. Joan sounds very willing to do it.
I would like to see that hold up in a court of any court, actually.
I don't know. It could hold up in a kangaroo court.
Well, the kidnapper was into it.
The air around you like shifts, and then you can see Joan again. He's standing next to you, but there's no reaction from the people around you. All right, we really don't have much time here. You're going to need to come with me.
That is not going to happen. I'm sorry, but I can come later, maybe? I don't understand why you need me right now. Me specifically. Is it me specifically?
As much as I like you, Elianna, I wasn't the one who picked you for this particular situation. I would give you as much time as you wanted.
Well, I appreciate that.
If you don't come willingly, I'm going to have to knock you out.
Elianna stares at this duel that is unfolding before her, extremely conflicted.
It wouldn't hurt you. It'd just be, you just fall asleep.
Well, I cannot, in good conscience, leave one of the most important people in my life, period, to fight to the death, in a fight to the death that is only happening because of me. So you can knock me out. I don't care. I cannot leave this situation right now.
How is the duel going, by the way?
How is the duel
That's
going?
a good question.
Who is winning right now?
As of right now, it is a draw. Darcy is definitely the weaker of the two in terms of pure power. The other one is basically has control of the battlefield, just attacks coming from all directions. But Darcy is, you don't know how old Darcy is, but Darcy is old. They are by far the more experienced of the two. And they are fast, like hard to see fast.
Dang.
Like blitzing all over the place, dodging hits. They've gotten a couple of nicks so far, and they've managed to get a couple nicks with their sword past the wall of thorns that their opponent has surrounding them. But it's pretty deadlocked right now. One is not capable of overcoming the other's sheer power, and the other is not capable of overcoming the other's just skill and speed.
Cool.
Think I can give you 5 minutes, maybe.
Thank you, Joe. I honestly, anything, I owe you one.
Well, I'm really sorry to be putting you in this spot.
You didn't.
Let me just say this is not how.
I put myself in this spot.
Oh well. Let's just say this is not what I expected to be doing today. It's more exciting than what I expected to be doing today, but.
Yeah, no, I did not think you would ever end up casually visiting the Seelie court.
Well, envoy of the Unseelie was I guess, a better cover than ultimate cosmic being. So, guess that's why I was the one sent here. I actually have no clue what he is. It's just, I've never seen my godmother talk to anyone like that.
Can I ask you clarifying questions once we leave? Is that
Sure.
okay with you?
Yeah, I can tell you everything I know.
All right.
Not sure how much I can help, but
Well,
I don't know half of what's going on.
Well, any information would be much appreciated, but not right now. I'm a little bit distracted.
Speaking of, dual check.
Dual check.
Yes, dual check.
How's the duel going?
You watch as Darcy narrowly avoids being flytrap chow as they land on the ground right as a giant Venus flytrap bursts out of the ground. They leap off its mouth right before it can snap shut.
Elianna was
And
nauseous.
they fling one of their swords through a gap in the thorn wall. Sword flies in and pierces the side of their opponent. But now Darcy's one sword less. And that sword did not kill the opponent, just wounded him. So Darcy now has one less sword to slash through the vines and thorns that are coming at them. And now they're at a disadvantage. Elianna, I'm kind of under magical oath here. There's only so much longer I can do before I just have to take you.
Why? Do you have any idea why me? Why I have to go to this, whatever this is?
Apparently it's important that we get the band back together.
What was, no offense, but what was special about the band? We did one thing.
You can ask the man in the red suit that.
Is that the guy who helped you escape?
Yeah, he is. Or they are, I guess, as always seems to be talking in plurals.
Weird. Okay. Elianna is clearly stalling at this point. Obviously stalling at this point.
I'm really sorry, Ellie.
Do what you need to do. Elianna is just gonna have her eyes glued on this fight until they can physically no longer be watching.
Okay, that's 16 strain.
Oh my laws.
What is your strength threshold?
Not that, probably. Yeah, no, my strength threshold is 12.
Okay, Joan holds out her hand and silvery dust goes over Elianna's face. And nighty-night. And then under the veil that Joan put over both of them when she made it so that Elianna could see her, leaving behind the illusory Elianna that she placed there, Joan skedaddles out of there.
Well, here's the great thing about this. Darcy knows I can't do that. So hopefully they'll be like, oh, she's been kidnapped.
Joan has the illusory Joan stand up and just leave Cayden along with.
Now, as they're walking out, leaving, does Cayden see or hear the end of the fight, I guess?
No.
Okay.
It's still going.
Yep.
Okay.
These are two extremely skilled duelists. It's gonna be a while.
This is fine.
No, it's not fine. You know it.
Once they meet up again, Joan's like, hey, can you carry her? You're stronger than I am.
He just holds out his arms.
Elianna is very tall, and Joan is very short, I will say.
Joan's 5'5".
Joan's average height. Yeah. She's not short. Relative to this group, she's very short.
As they leave, the Summer Queen's eyes are on them.
Well, bridges burned, I guess. Goodbye, everyone. Hopes, dreams, farewell.
You're welcome, I guess.
At least if she was watching, she saw that I did not go willingly.
And of course, as they leave, the illusory Elianna vanishes.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
The illusionary Elianna.
I think the moral of the story is don't give Jonathan NPCs.
I think that would be, you would think I would have learned my lesson after 2 years? 3?
I don't know.
Look, Hayden went really
His
well.
guys, I seem to be doing very well against my PCs.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's got to get back at us somehow. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Wait, what?
Anyway, what's happening?
Everybody, this is Caitlin, aka Howie, and welcome to roughly the middle of episode 1 of season 2 of The Unseen World. It's been such a friggin' long time since I've spoken at you, unless it hasn't, in which case, hey, how's it going? I saw you about an hour ago. I'm gonna keep this short because this episode is really, really long, and I am booking it as per usual, to get it out just in time. We're actually recording tonight, and I'm trying to desperately finish this in time for me to be able to eat dinner and take a nap before we record, because I pulled an all-nighter to get this ready, just for you. So I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please tell a friend. Now's a really great time to jump in, because you've got an entire season to binge, and then you can hear the episodes of Season 2 as they come out. I'd like to thank our patron real quick, Aimee Clark. Thank you so much for all you do and all the help and love and support that you give to the cast and crew of this show. If you want to support us as well, you can go to patreon.com/the Genesys Archives, or you can find us on Tumblr, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We have a Discord server, and all of that and all the other social media links are in the description. Oh my gosh, words. It would also be super wonderful if you've made it this far into the show to leave a review, particularly on iTunes. That's the most helpful to us. But on whatever platform you're listening to, please leave a comment, leave a review. We'd love to see them. Again, thank you so much for listening, and let's get back to the show. Bye-bye!
To Earth.
Yep.
Welcome to Earth. Okay.
Voltaire, you get a call from Rian.
Rian?
Voltaire? How you been?
Well, that is a loaded question.
I can imagine. Hey, I got something that might be a little bit of interest to you. I was investigating the storm drains just a few minutes ago, and found a burning pile of drain demons. A little farther out, found this dirty old white rag with a golden cross on it. I think you might know something about that, because I sure as hell don't.
Well, I know a bit more than a little. Let's say that.
Got a place we can meet?
You still remember how to get to my place?
I do.
Excellent, because I could use a drink. And he hangs up after that.
Click. Rian driving to Voltaire's place.
I don't think we have ever had a campaign with more drinking. Like, I have not even
Talk
it's so true.
Darn
every other scene is like a bar or drinking or something like that.
Yep.
And everyone's always like, I need a drink. I just like, this is like, I am unseen and I can't handle this world.
Look, we cope very well with our problems. We're all totally stable and have no extremely unhealthy coping mechanisms. No one here is an alcoholic. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, all those statements are basically false.
On the way to his house, Voltaire makes a call to his military friends.
All right. What kind of call? What does he say?
Well, he calls them up and he's just like, "Hello, I know I still owe you for the perimeter around the Luxor. I know that.
Uh-huh.
And once again, anything you want, anything money can buy is yours. But I need some information."
What kind of information?
I need to know if there has been a sudden a sudden uptick in those acquiring weapons of the flame-throwing variety.
Let me get back to you on that.
Bless you. He hangs up and continues on his way.
All right. So Voltaire and Rian reach Voltaire's. Where was Rian? Rian was at Storm Drains.
Which one? One storm drain in Vegas.
It is a network of tunnels with exits all over the city.
Okay.
So you can decide where in the city did you exit out of.
Probably the one he entered in the first place.
Very helpful. Where did he enter in the first place?
Let's have it be conveniently close to where Voltaire lives.
Ooh,
I like that plan.
that sounds pretty cool.
You know Vegas better than I do, Jonathan.
Well, I'm not asking for like a specific exit that you're aware of. I'm like outskirts of the city, more deeper in, like
We'll say a place
The one-
Voltaire's.
Yeah, the one that's
Okay,
conveniently close to Voltaire's.
So there are none like there are no exits like directly onto the strip.
Is
but
there one directly into Voltaire's apartment?
There should be, because there should be.
Sweet. Problem solved.
No, so it'll still take a bit. So you drive to Voltaire's. You'd actually get there a bit before Voltaire, I think. They're driving from the coroners.
Okay, so I'll probably just wait outside his door then, or outside the building.
All right, so you are right outside the building when Voltaire arrives.
What is he driving?
Voltaire driving?
Or what is he
funny.
riding?
You're funny. He's riding in an unnecessarily extravagant limo.
I think that's just a given. If, like, what is he wearing? What is he riding in? What is he holding? It's whatever
What is
it
he
is.
doing?
It's
Whatever it is, it's just unnecessarily extravagant for whatever situation he's in.
Yeah, Rian probably smells to high heaven right now.
Whatever he's saying, it's unnecessarily extravagant.
I like how we got the two characters who get along the best.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, Aimee,
Yes,
you are driving through Vegas
I certainly am.
in your old Volkswagen van.
Oh, yes.
I'm jealous.
It is blue.
Yes.
Yep, your old blue Volkswagen van.
It's got some murals on it. It's very
When
pretty.
you
Very
drive-
hippie.
Where you drive past a building with two men outside. One,
Am I, like, looking out the side window while I'm driving?
well, you just glance out the side window. Like,
Okay.
you've never glanced out the side window while driving?
She's approaching a crosswalk.
I hate driving.
She's approaching a
stop sign, a
crosswalk.
stoplight, something.
Personally.
And therefore
That makes sense.
looks to either side to check if there are going to be any pedestrians.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right,
She
yeah,
probably
so you
wouldn't. She's not
you
a safe
hit
driver.
yeah, you hit, those will actually, in the city, it would be a stoplight. So you hit a stoplight, and you see, just right to your left and forward, you see a young Native American man in a cowboy hat and a shawl
Cool.
talking
Like
to
his sense of style.
talking to a very richly dressed man that you recognize instantly.
Do I, though?
Maybe not instantly, maybe it takes you a sec, but his style definitely, while it has advanced with
Yo,
the
it's changed significantly, but yes.
while it's advanced with the times, its extravagance and expensiveness have not changed.
Ridiculousness, yes.
And he has not aged a day.
Well, you assume that I assume it's the same person. And that's silly of you to assume.
Okay. This man looks a lot like that man. In fact, he looks exactly like how that man looked
Yeah.
50 years ago.
Okay, cool.
Can I just roll a casual perception check to see if I see this van?
To see if you can
That, my
save the
friend,
plot.
is called a vigilance check.
Oh,
Okay.
I get it for free because I need an in.
because you are determined to avoid the campaign. Just drives, it's like, oh, left Vegas, bye.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
like, whoa, I don't care anymore. Let's keep going.
Road trip.
So that's two green.
Road trip. That's my life.
Why is your vigilance too green?
Because he uses know your enemy.
Oh, you're right. He always uses know your enemy. You're right.
Because we've established that naturally, like his natural self should be dead multiple times over. Blake.
That's true. Cayden did directly call him out, like,
wouldn't have very much like vigilance because he doesn't really care about what's going on if it's not directly in front of him.
Okay,
that is very
It does not
true.
involve him. He does not care.
Aimee, the light turned green.
Is there like a parking space somewhere nearby?
There is a parking garage just across the way. There are no spaces on these streets. Not in this area of the city, at least. There's no parking spaces in this area.
I'm gonna go park real fast. I mean, how busy is the street?
Busy, very busy.
Oh, people would probably get mad if I stopped in the middle of the road and just got out.
probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm going to park.
All
Man,
right.
the real world's hard.
Isn't it?
I'm gonna park.
So, Voltaire, you get the feeling like you're being watched, and you glance out into the street, and your eyes meet for just an instant before she turns the corner into the parking garage with a young Brazilian woman with long black hair who looks eerily familiar.
He's obviously talking with Rian, and he just looks and stops. He's
And then she vanishes into the parking garage.
he shakes his head. He's just like,
Voltaire, are you all right?
he just shakes his head again. He's just like, forgive me, Rian. I just thought I saw someone from long ago.
All right. Shall we go inside?
No, you shall not go inside.
Tell me that character.
If forgive me, Rian, if you'll indulge me, I would like to see if it was a little bit more than deja vu.
Rian just shrugs and just says, go on ahead.
Does Voltaire cross the street then, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Rian's just gonna wait by the door as Voltaire goes and sees what he's looking for.
Interesting. Okay.
He knows not better than to intrude upon Voltaire's stuff.
Okay.
There.
Very well.
Aimee.
So, like, what level of the parking garage do I get? Where's their space? I know how this works.
Working on the first two, maybe you might find a space on the third one. You could definitely find a space on the fourth floor, though.
I'm just gonna go to the fourth floor then, where I can find one really fast. I'm not gonna I have things to
Circle
do.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna park and go downstairs or elevator or whatever mechanism there is to go down.
You run or you just walk to the elevator?
I walk quickly.
All right.
Interesting choice.
Voltaire, you walk into the parking garage and see as the elevator opens, and it is Andressa, or at least someone who looks way too much like Andressa.
Yeah.
Though there are some slight differences. Her hair, which used to be straight down, now has waves like the ocean, with how silky and shining it is. When the light plays on it, it could almost give the illusion of waves. And her eyes are a deep sea blue.
Okay.
And she has tattoos. She has these big water kind of tattoos that swirl up her arms and into her cheekbones.
Is he into her cheekbones or her?
No, I'm sorry, her collarbones. Thank you, her collarbone. That would be cool, going all the way up.
That
no
would be
face
cool.
tattoos. Collarbone. That's what I meant.
Is she
Like,
dressed
on her
like a
collarbone.
hippie also?
Well, let me tell you what she is wearing.
Please.
Oh my.
Enlighten us.
I will. She is wearing a long maxi wrap dress that's it's blue and it's kind of shiny and silky, but not in a tacky way. I don't do tacky. And so that when the wind blows, it kind of ripples, kind of like, waves. And she has, the sleeves are kind of like goddess style sleeves, and they have that slit on the arm so you can see the tattoos.
Oh.
And it's got like a V-neck because it's a wrap dress. And she has she has long hair. It's like almost down to her, it's like mid thigh, almost knees. She is 5'3". She is not tall.
Oh my goodness, someone shorter than Joan.
How tall is Joan?
Technically, she's 5'2.5", but
She's 5'3". What are we talking about?
It's the attitude that counts.
Mhm.
it's the attitude. She has the attitude of a 6 foot tall person. Anyway, she and her hair, it's got like these pearls braided through it that are like, they look like pearls. They're kind of luminescent. And she wears this like big chunky coral colored bracelet. And what else? She has like a roundish heart shaped face and big downturned eyes with thicker eyebrows and like these like roundish kind of Cupid's bow lips. And she's tanned because she is half Brazilian, but that's what she looks like. And she's wearing sandals. So she's kind of dressed like I don't know, hippie, but definitely bohemian. Definitely like more relaxed, very chill.
That is a very different aesthetic than...
This is a very fresh aesthetic, and I'm excited here for it.
I'm so down for it as well. Yeah.
And Andressa, you see this man who, once again, looks exactly like the man you knew 50 years ago.
My gosh.
But what's odd to me is that he came over here when he was clearly having a conversation with someone else.
That too.
Well, it's going to get even weirder because he's going to walk straight up to you and he's going to say, excuse me, miss. I'm sorry, but have we met before? You look frighteningly similar.
Might I have your name?
My name is Voltaire.
Her eyes get really wide.
It is you. How?
Why? I assumed you would have died, like, an early death.
You'd be surprised how many people think that, but that's beside the point. I could say the same about you. You, no offense, but you should be a lot older than you are now.
Well, I mean, technically, I am older.
Andressa, you know exactly what I mean.
Really confused.
You don't look like you aged a day.
Well, neither do you.
Touché. Come, we can discuss this. It's in my place.
I don't know if I want to.
I'm Andressa.
Voltaire.
When have I ever given you a reason to mistrust me to the point where you won't even step in my dwelling?
She glares at you real hard with just such icy daggers in her eyes. You do, however, catch a whiff of orange perfume.
And you feel better about her glaring at you.
I do. He does. He does, ever so slightly.
But he is glaring at you real hard.
Okay. We did not part on the best of terms. And I'm sure that's putting it mildly. And I'm sure you'd love to find multiple things to threaten my life with. And I can assure you there are multiple things.
I don't need to find them.
Well, then, can I at least give you a place out of the general public to threaten my life?
A couple walks past you, trying not to look like they're watching you, but they totally are. Like they're trying to look
the
like.
The thing is, Andressa does not care about the public opinion.
I was sold as soon as she opened her mouth. Oh my gosh.
Same.
I don't know what this voice is, but I'm in love with it.
I did not expect it, and I love it.
I was not ready.
No one was.
I was.
Of course.
Congratulations.
Stop bragging, Jim.
Congratulations. Yeah. We're all very proud of you.
Does she accept the invitation?
If you care that much about what other people think.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I just have had enough dealings with the police today, and I would rather not work them harder than they should be worked.
Okay, she laughs at that, just... All right.
That's an adorable one.
I am delighted. I'm delighted. And also, it's criminal that this is an audio medium, purely. Because the faces you are making are amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So Voltaire leads you back across the street, and he pauses in front of the building where he left Rian, and he takes a moment for brief introductions. Rian, it turns out it wasn't deja vu.
Oh, really?
Rian, Andressa, Rian, now come, let us go inside.
Rian tips his hat to Andressa, and he's like, pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
Hi.
Kind of just cocks an eyebrow a little.
We go up to his place.
All right, when you open the doors, you find Joan and Cayden are there. With an unconscious Elianna.
In Cayden's
Dressed
arms.
magnificently.
But
No, Elianna, you would have put her in bed by this point. They arrived a bit ago.
okay.
Or she's probably like on the couch, just so that way.
Are they all still dressed in their Avalon attire?
Yep.
Yep. Sure am.
Rian kind of just looks to Voltaire. He's like, was it something else you forgot to mention?
Andressa looks uncomfortable. There are a lot more people than she was expecting.
There are a lot more people than Voltaire was expecting.
And one of them is unconscious.
Okay, so
She
he
just
opens
kicks
the
Voltaire
door.
behind the knee a little bit.
He opens the door, and he's just like, ow. And then he closes the door again and takes a moment.
What is going on?
Andressa, I wish I knew.
Yeah,
I
but
have to admit, I very much did not expect to see you, and I very much left my apartment very much empty.
I would have to agree. We'll talk about this later.
Oh, believe you me, Andressa, that the people in here would probably help you murder me if you gave them a few minutes. But anyway.
Nice to know we all have things.
Anyway, he opens the door again. He's just like,
Joan has like one eyebrow raised, just watching as it opens. Like, glad you could make it.
Thank you. I can't say that I've ever had such a warm welcome into my own place of glory.
Cayden turns, kind of speaks towards Jones like, I knew we should have at least sent a message prior. Some kind of warning might have been nice.
Well, it seems to be the day for drop-in visitors.
You don't say.
Joan notices Andressa, gives her a smile.
She's hiding behind both of them. Not hiding, but she's not taking a prominent front here.
She notices Andressa there, and
There's a lot to hide behind.
Yeah, well, is she actively hiding?
No, she's not actively hiding. She's just in the back.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying. I was just making a joke about their height difference.
Yeah,
and general stature.
So, Joan catches sight of Andressa and smiles and looks straight at Andressa with her cat-like eyes.
And just kind of waves.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Who's your friend, Voltaire?
Oh,
she just frowns a little bit at the word friend, but she doesn't say anything.
Yes, and
Rian kind of slides a little bit out of the way so everyone can get a proper sight of Andressa.
That's
she
funny.
Does not appreciate that.
Yes, everyone, this is Andressa. She's an acquaintance of mine from quite a bit ago.
She just does not look pleased about any of the words that came out of your mouth. And she goes, "Hi, you can call me Andi." And this is a little long.
A pleasure to meet you, Andi.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have never had my heart stolen so completely and so quickly by a D&D character. I just needed to let that out. Now I will recede back to my unconscious form on the couch while you all stand around and chat.
At that Andi remark, Joan smiles, and it's a genuine smile. Nice meeting you, Andi.
It's unexpected pleasure as well.
Cayden lifts his hand towards his head and then realizes it's still not there, so he's just like,
His hand or his head?
No, his hand. He like raises his hand toward his head and realizes that his hat's not there. The hat's not there. Otherwise, he would have tipped it. I apologize. You're right.
Okay.
And upon realizing it's still not there, he just sighs like, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Andy. So I would like to perform a perception check on him."
Likewise.
What is Andy's cool?
I believe it's 2 yellow, but I might need to check that. Yep.
Nice.
Okay, interesting.
I'm very cool. I don't know if you've noticed.
I think it's awesome. You're very cool. I love it.
I'm impressed.
So Andy smells of
Oranges in the ocean.
oranges and salt water. Besides the orange smell, it's like you're smelling hers, like you're by the seaside.
Interesting.
Would you care to explain why you are all in my apartment? Not that I don't love seeing you all.
Elianna's fallen under a curse and she needs true love's kiss.
Joan, you're
She just
witty as ever.
just widens her eyes real big.
Just kidding. We were called, apparently there's some big business going on, and I was called, I guess we were all called, but I was the one who had a supernatural entity knock on my door. I unfortunately had to kidnap Elianna here. She should wake up in a minute or so.
I'm sure she was very appreciative of that.
She did look like she needed some sleep, but
I think that would justify a kidnapping.
So I hear that you've got a particularly freaky investigation going.
Yes.
That's certainly
First things first. Could you be a little more specific when you say supernatural entity?
Right. Do you remember when I told you all about how I was able to escape Avalon the first time?
She is more confused.
Rian responds. He said, "Man in the red coat, undescribable features."
Suit, but yes.
Sounds similar to the fellow I met a few months back.
You met him?
After what happened with Elaine, a few days after that, I was about to head back home for a short while when a man in a red suit with undescribable features approached and told me to stick around for a little while. What reason, I can only guess, but I have a feeling it's something to do with why you're here.
Wow,
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Very.
But yeah, he appeared in Avalon and said that I had a debt to repay, which I did. Or I guess still do. That's not finished. And, well, part of that is I had to take Elianna here and try to bring the band back together. He said someone else would be joining us, too.
Rian turns to look at Andressa, assuming it's probably her.
Andressa just kind of puts her fingers, the whole almost face palm, but not quite as violent.
Andressa? Do you know why exactly are you here?
Well, I wasn't quite sure before, but I think I know now.
Wonderfully vague.
You don't deserve more.
Oh. I mean, you're not wrong.
Cayden raises an eyebrow at that.
Sounds like you two have an interesting history.
Hardly.
Oh, I think I would very much like to learn that story.
I must admit, I'm also a wee bit curious.
Andressa blushes a little bit. She does not like attention.
Rian, how many times have we talked about not meddling in other people's private affairs? It's just rude.
Cayden,
huh?
What fun is there if we don't meddle in other people's affairs?
Well, I don't particularly have fun in that kind of in those kind of affairs, but you have that if you wish.
Can we resume?
One of the most entertaining days I've had in my life was the day that I meddled in affairs and brought Voltaire into a vampire bar and watched as he went through agonizing pain of socializing with vampires.
Sometimes, child, you really do scare me.
Voltaire shudders and he's like, I have never seen so much leather in one place.
Rian kind of chuckles. He just lightly chuckles.
But anyway, can we
wearing a lot of leather once upon a time?
Can we resume the discussion of my private life after we established why everybody's here?
Okay, sure. We'll table it for now.
Fair enough.
This is where Elianna wakes up.
All right, yeah. So then Elianna wakes up.
Did we win? Oh. Elianna was had a pretty neutral expression, and then her face just sort of falls, and then all the emotions happen.
I'm sorry that I had to do that to you.
Nope, that's fine. I basically asked you to. Elianna looks at Voltaire. Are we in Vegas?
Yes.
Elianna looks kind of surprised. Okay. Have I been out for who? I'm just gonna sit back and listen, I think.
Quick rundown. Voltaire's got a weird investigation going on, and we've been called to do something in relation to that, because apparently that's related to, a war or something. Oh, and apparently we have a new friend. Say hi, Andi.
Hello.
Hi. A pleasure, I'm sure.
The same.
So what is... I know you just told me what's happening, but what is happening?
I don't really know. The man in the red suit didn't give me the details, Voltaire, so why don't you exposit for us?
Well, to put it as succinctly as I can, the Inquisition is going around barbecuing many prominent figures in many different factions, and I have nothing to prove it to my boss.
Really?
Like no one expects?
Joan.
What?
I didn't think it was possible for you to get more irreverent, and yet here we are.
No, I didn't realize they were still operating.
Oh, they are still very much operating. And they haven't changed very much.
This Inquisition, who are they exactly?
How do I put this mildly? They are a bunch of murderous, raving lunatics who hide under the mantle of religion to burn people. You know, the ones who would burn people at the stake.
Oh my, that sounds...
Yeah, that was them.
Okay.
They gained a particular notoriety in Spain, and they went underground after that.
That's a pretty good explanation.
Huh. I suppose you definitely know a lot more about what I brought to show you from the tunnels. As Rian gets into his pocket, pulls out a red bandana, unfolds it, and shows Voltaire the white rag with the golden cross.
Okay, does this give me any more specific information aside from, it's the Inquisition?
Yeah, that's just confirmation of what you already suspected. The golden cross specifically is the symbol of the Inquisition.
Excellent. He says, yes, I imagine you found some rather unsavory-looking barbecue somewhere near this.
I don't suppose a burning pile of drain demons would qualify.
No wonder you smell.
Believe me, I had plans to take a shower after that little journey, but then I figured this might be a little more important.
So what are... Elianna, sits up and tries to, compose herself. So we're what are we? We're getting the gang back together to investigate this, is what we're supposed to be doing? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit disoriented.
It's all right, Elianna. It's very understandable. I have it on very good authority that the Inquisition is making an incursion into Las Vegas.
Who is very good authority?
Well, my father.
Aren't you, forever old? Wait, is your father that parent?
Yes, Joan. My father is that parent.
Andressa just looks at you really confused.
Rian just asks...
You know who she thinks your father is.
Mm-hmm. And she's not wrong.
Rian just asks, Voltaire, would you be so kind as to explain a little, please?
Well, I imagine you can gather from what you have seen in our previous adventures that I am a little bit, how shall I say it, less than human.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't put it together? His blood glows white.
Well, I knew he wasn't exactly human, but wasn't sure which part of the supernatural realm he was.
I don't suppose you ever went to church.
Afraid not.
I mean, personally, you're not missing very much, but let me just say, most of what they teach in church is true.
Huh. Fascinating.
I never thought I'd hear you admit that.
Oh, trust me, it turns my stomach, even having the words have left my mouth.
So, I take it you and your father aren't exactly on good terms, or...
That's one way to put it. Anyway, in case you still haven't put it together, my father was one of those angels that fell from heaven.
And Russell looks like really surprised and maybe a little hurt.
Rian definitely looks a bit surprised, because he could never have fathomed that he'd be a descendant of an angel. Let alone
Andressa wouldn't have guessed that either.
He looks at Andressa and he's just like, Andressa, it's not exactly something that I like telling the general public or anyone for that matter.
You. This is real hard.
Wait.
Oh, you have your secrets.
What did
your dad one of the fallen? I thought they were like, big extra evil types.
Well, I don't really pretend to understand it, but he has helped us out, let's say.
Would I guess that those moments of what I might now describe as divine inspiration that you've had throughout our time together, was that your father helping us out?
To the extent of my knowledge, yes.
What did he tell you this time?
Well, he was incredibly vague, as most all of these messengers tend to be. He said the Inquisition is making an incursion into Vegas, and that somebody that I thought was dead is at the head of the assault.
I don't suppose you'd happen to know the name of this person?
Rian, do you have any idea what I do for a living? That didn't exactly narrow the list.
Cayden chuckles at that, but then he follows up. So you said earlier that you have no proof of this to give to your boss. So all of these killings are happening, but you can't really do much about it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I know exactly who's doing it. It's the Inquisition. Their modus operandi hasn't changed since ever.
So what kind of clues have you found in your investigation so far?
People being burned. Left little more than bones, and their teeth being taken so as to avoid their identification.
Well, that explains a couple of things about what I've been figuring out.
Andressa looks disturbed.
Elianna also looks disturbed.
And Voltaire turns to Andressa. Andressa, I very much apologize. You are going to learn a lot in the next few minutes.
What do we know so far?
These guys are a lot more intense than television led me to believe.
Oh, Joan, you haven't even touched the surface.
Yes.
What do I have so far? I have 10 burned corpses from various parts of the city. I have the handkerchief that Rian found.
You get a ring.
And I have this. Please tell me you have found something good.
Yeah, we finally got an ID.
Excellent. Who is it?
It's a girl. Apparently the cops found the scene before whoever it was could remove the teeth this time.
Hang on, you mean there's another one?
Yeah, it's another one.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Anyway, who is it?
It's a girl named Alice Cooper, 18. Minor criminal record, nothing major, just like some drug charges, couple of speed violations, some graffiti, nothing major.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Biddles. I'll be by to pick up whatever other information that you have in a little while.
Oh, okay.
Well, that didn't sound too great exactly.
Well, there's another one.
Another body?
Yes.
Oh my.
But at least dear members of law enforcement were quicker than the Inquisition this time. They identified her. Her name is Alice Cooper.
Well, that's something.
Yes. It is. I was about to go and get her information.
Sounds like we need to stop by our old friend, Dr. Biddles.
Been a long while.
Yes, I'm afraid I've been seeing a little much of him. Now,
all right.
Shall I call the limo back?
Yeah, I don't even know where I left my car.
If you give me the address, I can take myself.
Oh, so you are joining us then?
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
You can tell that she didn't, she was gonna say more, but she just, no.
Well, this is going to be an adventure.
Yeah, got that right.
In that case, anyone who would like to come with me, you are welcome to come with me.
Voltaire, might I borrow something out of your closet? I'm not exactly dressed to go to the morgue.
Neither am I.
Goodness, yes.
Yeah, I was about to say something about that, but then you all beat me to it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Hey, Voltaire, I know your tastes are incredibly expensive, but do you have anything for girls that is, relatively normal clothing?
If you'd like, you can borrow some of my clothes.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess, what kind of clothes you got?
I assure you she has excellent taste.
She just glares at you a little bit.
Well, it's probably gonna be more in line with my style than any of the extra fancy stuff Voltaire has in stock. Mind if I ride with you too?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, Joan, before you go, how long was I out?
About an hour or so, I think.
An hour, Earth time?
Oh, yeah. How long have we been gone, by the way?
Earth time?
A few months?
Oh.
Yeah, about 3 months.
Cayden just sighs heavily.
Elianna looks relieved.
How long have you all been away?
About 3 years.
Too long.
Elianna glances at Voltaire and then she doesn't have anything. She doesn't have her bag. She doesn't have her freaking phone. Do I have any means of contacting Darcy at all?
Voltaire would notice your general sense of just panic.
Of realizing that she has nothing.
And he just, Elianna, you are welcome to whatever you need.
She doesn't, look him in the eye, really. She glances at him and shoots him a little quick stab at his smile. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I probably should have thought about your things.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I asked you to kidnap me, so...
I could send for, to have them grabbed.
That would be excellent. In the meantime, actually, along with that, I would love to know if Darcy's alive.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's your friend, right?
Yep, that would be my friend. Thank you, Joan. Elianna walks into the closet.
Hey, Voltaire, you wouldn't happen to have, is your pantry stocked? Do you have, bread and maybe some butter?
Yes. My pantry is fully stocked.
Well, actually, wait, no. Let it even work better. You wouldn't happen to have pizza anywhere, would you?
Pizza?
Yeah. Actually, no, you're rich. Can you order some?
You want me to order pizza before you go to the morgue?
No, it's not for me.
Then who is it for?
It's a bribe.
A bribe? Okay.
What on earth are you gonna bribe with a pizza?
You could be surprised.
Oh, don't worry. You'll see in a bit.
Okay.
Just order somewhere that works fast.
Well, do you want fast or do you want good?
I don't fast. I don't think they can't tell the difference.
Okay. So Voltaire orders a pizza. And you can You can tell that he's incredibly uncomfortable, having never ordered a pizza.
Some teenagers like, yeah, hey, thanks for calling
Domino's Pizza.
Pieland.
Pieland.
Pizza Pie Kingdom. What can I get you today?
So people start changing clothes.
Rian would ask, Voltaire, would it be alright if I used the shower real fast?
Dear Lord, yes, please. Go take a shower.
Rian goes take a shower.
Did Joan or Cayden get any time to get their things as well before they left?
They had time to grab their things.
Does Joan wait for the pizza to get there, or does she want clothes now?
Joan will probably wait for a bit.
Okay. Just gonna stand there uncomfortably then.
Cayden goes to change, yeah. He goes to change.
Yeah, well, I think while they wait, Joan's interested in that dress. I was just like, hey, so, where are you from?
I technically from Brazil, but I spent a lot of my teen years in California.
Nice.
You?
Oh gosh.
Fairyland, basically.
Oh, so which one?
Avalon.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know where I was born, but that's where I was raised.
Oh, so okay. She doesn't like to, pry.
Yeah, I was raised there for 18 years before I eventually escaped to Vegas. And then 3 years later, I was thrown back there again. So fun times.
That sounds like quite the adventure.
Yes, her adoptive mother isn't exactly the very motherly type.
She just looks at you like you're not a part of this conversation.
Oh my.
Did Joan make a little, motion with her hand?
A little what motion?
A little wave away motion.
Shoot.
Voltaire just throws up his hands, mutters, women, and goes to the liquor cabinet.
I'm loving it.
Man is hundreds of years old.
I'm curious as to how old Andressa is.
Why don't you ask her?
That's really rude. Asking a woman her age.
I don't think it's that rude to me.
Shush!
How long ago did you and Voltaire meet?
What?
Well, you and Voltaire seem like you've got a lot of history, so just curious how long ago was you met?
Oh, well, I hardly remember anymore.
Very convincing.
Yeah.
Hardly remember? I don't know, how old does she look again?
Mid-20s.
You look like, unless you met him when you were a kid, I'm guessing you've got a bit of the magic no age juice yourself.
Well, it's not quite a juice, but I guess you could say that.
Well, yes, it's not a juice for Voltaire either. I was just...
Point of order. Voltaire is actively listening to this conversation.
Around this time...
Andressa is actively ignoring his presence with all of her being.
Mm-hmm.
Around this point is when Cayden joins Voltaire in his regular, attire with his cowboy hat firmly back on.
Voltaire had a cowboy hat?
No, Cayden.
No, I know, but where'd you get it?
Okay, Voltaire, do you want to talk about your closet?
Well, no. So we mentioned that they grabbed that Joan and Cayden grabbed their things before.
I see.
Yes. So this.
Oh, okay.
Why did they grab
this? Is Cayden's hat, but
This is Cayden's hat.
Voltaire has lavishly furnished closets for both sexes. He has everything.
Everything for everyone that anyone could possibly ever need or want.
And everything is just needlessly extravagant.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's more elegant than is there anything simple?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think a better way of saying it is everything is expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Cayden's joining Voltaire at the bar that he has, where the liquor is at least.
Fun fact, I technically have no idea how old I really am. By Earth time, at least.
I sense
for all I know, by Earth years, I could be 3 or 500. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess.
I don't know, I just thought it was a relevant bit.
It's relevant to my life.
Just trying to pass the time until the bride gets here.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna do with that?
I don't want to spoil the fun, but
Come on, you want to spoil the fun a little bit.
That's all right.
certain creatures are fond of certain mortal treats.
Everyone loves pizza.
Well,
Define everybody.
I don't think I could ever really imagine my godmother eating pizza.
I mostly imagine your godmother eating children.
Cayden guffaws at that.
I haven't seen it, but who knows? And that's when the doorbell rings.
Who's gonna get the door?
Voltaire is going to go to the door.
Hey, did you order a large pepperoni pizza?
Unfortunately, yes.
All right, that'll be $5.
Do you have less than $100 bill? Or
No.
he probably has a card reader. Never mind.
No, he hands him $200 and says, keep the change.
Whoa.
Take a vacation.
Sure, man. Thanks. Yeah, have a nice day.
Yes, thank you.
Delivery folks really don't get paid enough.
They did today.
They sure did today.
Once the door closes, Joan snatches the pizza out of your hands. It's like, hey, do these windows open?
What in the 7 circles of hell are you bringing into my apartment?
No. They won't come in. You've got it's a weak threshold because it's only you and you're not here very much, but you got a bit of a threshold so they won't come in.
Well, you didn't seem to have very much issue.
Well, I'm human.
Partially.
You're gonna go partially to me.
I don't have cat eyes.
Rise narrow. Both of my parents were human.
Cayden just rubs he did what Andressa did earlier. He's just doing that.
My blood isn't a light source.
Touché. Yes, they do open.
Thank you. Opens the windows, puts the pizza out on the windowsill, and whispers out a little song. There's like a brief melody. And in about a minute, lights zip over.
Fireflies?
Little brighter, little more multi-hued than that. As a small swarm of pixies rushes at the pizza. And before they can reach it, she snaps it closed. Hello, friends. I need you to help me for a bit. You see, my friend Elianna here
Gestures a thumb at the closed closet door.
left her things in the heart of summer. If you could get them for her, and also ask around with the pixies there about a duel that just occurred. See what the result is. And they buzz at her. You guys can't it's really high pitched and kind of quiet. You guys can't make it out from where you guys are. Well, yes. Do we have a deal? More high pitched. All right. She opens the pizza and it's gone in a second.
Oh my.
These guys are quite
Just
the appetite.
like piranhas.
Ah.
Quite the appetite.
Swirl of lights and then no pizza. And then they flutter away.
So how long are we waiting before we go to the morgue? Because Rian's going to be taking a shower for an hour and a half.
What?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's
No,
to make sure that smell gets off him for good.
He has a max.
Expensive cologne.
He has a max of 15 minutes before Voltaire dumps a bucket of ice on him.
Does Voltaire actively
Make it ice
bust down the
water.
door?
Ice this kind of goes down. Ice water, that stays.
Okay, he'll try to be done in 15 minutes.
When does Joan indicate she would like to change clothes?
Right after that.
Oh, all right.
Well, they should be back before long.
Cool.
Would you be able to help me get a new change of clothes?
Oh.
Fortunately, I think my godmother burned my last mortal pair of clothes.
Okay.
Like I said, not the motherly type.
She just ignores you. Yeah, absolutely. We can totally go. You want to come with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. This way. She just leaves.
Thank you. Thank you again, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course. We go to the van at the top of the parking garage. Van down by the river.
As Joan is leaving, Cayden just quickly asks, just like, do you require any assistance?
I think
And Dresser just gives you a look like they're going to change clothes.
I think I'm good, Cayden. We're not in Avalon anymore. You can loosen up a little bit.
It was just a formality, if nothing else. I don't necessarily want, your godmother hounding me later, just being like, you weren't with her, like, every step of the way,
Well, thank you for your concern.
Just a salute.
Probably after they leave, that Rian comes out and is just... do his clothes still reek of the stuff?
Yeah, you're going to want new clothes.
Voltaire burned them while you were in the shower.
That's what I thought.
You better not have burned his shawl.
Cayden saved the shawl. Cayden would have saved it.
As they're having
Do
this...
not burn the shawl. He will kill you for that.
He can try.
As Joan and Andi and they're talking about how Morgan burned Joan's clothes, and Voltaire looks over and says, "Not the motherly type," as he's actively burning Rian's clothes.
Yes.
Putting them in the fireplace at that exact moment, he looks back, like I said, not the motherly type.
Exactly.
Yes.
You most likely do have a set of clothes Rian can wear them.
He has multiple sets of clothes. He could clothe an entire, cotillion.
Rian doesn't like the too fancy type. Just a standard button-up long-sleeve shirt with some nice pants.
You'll find that.
Okay.
It'll just be more expensive than anything you've ever worn.
Yeah. You didn't burn the holsters either, did you? You better not have.
No, probably not.
He burned anything that would keep a smell that wasn't involved in you actively being able to fight.
Okay. Gosh. Now we just gotta power wash the shawl, though.
Anyway, to the morgue.
To the van, and then to the morgue.
As Joan's changing, it's quite liberating to talk to humans again. Actually be able to say things like thank you.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the Fae. If you say if you thank a Fae, then you now owe them.
Yes. I am aware. Sorry, yeah. Can I describe what the inside of her van looks like?
Yes, yeah. Joan's as she's changing in the van.
Yay. Okay, so it's a blue Volkswagen, but on the inside it's been converted to a camper. And so it has so you open it, and part of the doorway, which is a double doorway because it opens, is half of it. So it's a normal sized doorway is taken up by a counter because there's a kitchenette on this side. And on that side, there's a long couch. And it's also she flips up the seat, and that's where she's keeping all the clothes. It's storage down there. And a hammock hanging from the ceiling, and in the corner there's a little stall that's obviously the bathroom, and then there's these large lava lamps that are lighting not right now, but they look like big tanks of water, but they are lava lamps because they're not on right now. They don't need to be. And it's all kind of very bohemian. It's got a lot of throws. It's very colorful, but all kind of in a blue and green and gray kind of scale. Oh, also on the inside, there's decorations hanging out. There's just long strings of pearls all across the top of the inside of the van. Also, there's on the top, there's racks, and if you look up, you just see surfboards. It just has them on these wooden planks, and it's right above there. It's even cooler at night because, sorry, I did a lot of planning into this. Okay,
I love it.
Know what I want. And the top is a pop top, so when it pops, there's it's this fabric because you can kind of lift the roof, and then there's these windows so light can shine in, but that's not open right now because she parked the car.
Nice.
I love this.
But Volkswagen van, was it?
Yeah.
My gosh, it sounds like the tents from Harry Potter.
Basically.
So I did a lot of looking into things to see what I could fit in there, and this is about what I could fit in there.
Hey,
that's awesome.
Nice.
I love that.
All right. So what do you have for Joan to put?
I got multiple pairs of just jeans. Some of them are kind of patchworky. Most of them are flare or
She gets the least 70s jeans she can get.
She has like a normal pair of skinny jeans in there.
Okay.
She has like a bunch of old, very vintage band t-shirts, as well as some sweaters for like colder weather. She has a couple dresses that are all kind of flowy, and some like cardigans, some shawls, various accessories, scarves.
She'd probably take
She does have like blouses, like flowy kind of or blouses, and many swimsuits.
She'd probably grab one of the t-shirts for now and just like, man, I miss my jacket.
Oh, she has leather jackets in there too. If she wants to borrow one, she's got a couple.
He looks longingly at those, but then like remembers the heat outside. I might pick you up on that later.
Wait, what month is it right now for us in this campaign?
Good question.
It's entering spring.
Oh, dang.
What time of day is it, incidentally?
Shouldn't it be
it's now, the sun is like probably set by this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because Rian called Voltaire around sunset. So
you know what? I'm just gonna. Yeah, okay. I'll take a jacket.
Go ahead. So there's a couple. There's like some brown kind of dusters as well as some black ones. There's a couple black ones, and some of them are kind of like they have the patches on them for like different various things that Andress is into that she's willing to take. She has a couple of them. She has like collected clothing over the years.
He's definitely taking one of the black jackets.
Go ahead. I'm guessing like a motorcycle one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Feel free to keep it. I really don't need it.
I don't want to steal your clothes.
It's not stealing if I give it to you.
True. All right. Well, we should probably I guess I'm driving with you anyways, so we can just text the others.
Yeah.
Or if that's okay, I don't like if you don't want me driving with you, that's fine. I just don't.
No, it's totally good. It's good. There's you can sit in the passenger, or you can sit on the couch back here, whatever, the hammock, even if you want.
I can hang out in the front with you.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That's like, if that's all right. Like you're being really accommodating, which is good, great, and all, but like I don't want to like make you uncomfortable or anything.
Oh, no, it's good. Like very little could make me super uncomfortable after. Never mind. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. This is so wholesome. My tiny heart can't handle it.
I need to make more evil characters.
No, we love your wholesome character.
We need
This campaign specifically needs your wholesome character.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Anyway.
Joan.
Would you mind asking for the address?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thanks. She obviously, Andress has no one's number.
Joan was about to text Voltaire. It's like, wait, no, I know where the coroner's office is. I can take us there. And just directs her.
Yep, just blasting.
I imagine.
Did she text that they were going?
Yeah, she sends a text like, head into the coroner's office. See you there.
Okay.
Voltaire sends back, we're right behind you.
All right. So Elianna, as when she gets out, the pixies dropped off her various items, like a cell phone and such.
Elianna doesn't come out until someone tells her that they are leaving this location.
Yeah, Voltaire would knock on the door and he'd just be like, Elianna, we need to leave.
Okay, I'm coming. Another 30 seconds or so goes by and Elianna comes out and she's wearing a simple white blouse with black blazer, black dress pants, shoes.
Nice.
Very much the opposite of what she was wearing a minute ago.
Uh-huh.
And she goes to pick up her stuff. Are these guys hanging around?
They are not, but there is a text on her cell phone.
Oh. From whom?
From Darcy.
Oh. What does it say?
We'll find out next time.
Get out.
What?
Really?
Next episode.
Gosh.
Next time on the Unseen World Season 2.
Bye.